In this tutorial, we'll take a look at one of the Form Builder's available modes, which tailor the experience directly to how you wish the end user to interact with this product. Here, we'll be taking a look at the Create mode. This allows fields to be created and formatted from within the Form Builder's user-facing form. This is great when you want users to be able to freely design some elements of their own artwork. So what I'm going to do is launch the script config for this particular product. This is accessed the same way we've discussed in other tutorials in the Form Builder series. And you'll notice that I've already input into this particular config for this particular product. I'll just talk through some of the steps that I've gone through here. So first off, we have the instance editor mode line. This allows you to select the mode the Form Builder will use. By default, and what we've discussed in the majority of the Form Builder tutorials, is the form mode. Other options are upload, create, and guided at the time of recording. In this tutorial, we're going to utilize create. The next section down is the add field types section. This allows you to define which field types will be available for end users to add whilst using the create mode. Simply specify each of the field types with true or false following them. So once you've done that, just go ahead and save the config and reload the product. The product will launch with the user-facing form providing the ability to add new fields. So you can see this top section on the user-facing form with a couple of drop downs allowing you to add different field types. Let's go ahead and add a single line of text just to get ourselves started here. And remember that this is the user-facing form, and this is how they will interact with the product. Now, when you add a new field, a couple of things will happen. First and foremost, you will have the ability to input into the newly created field, as you would expect. But the users also have the ability to format the text within the field that we've just created and also change the arrangement or management of that particular field as well, such as changing the Z order arrangement or, of course, deleting the field again. When no fields are selected, your users will see a form showing inputs for all added fields, in addition to options to add new fields. Now let's try something different. Let's go to a clip art field. Again, your users will be given options to edit that newly added field. So you can see we've got the ability to select an image and we can choose whether or not it distorts the clip art. Now, by default, clip art fields will give access to all clip art categories assigned to a product. You can see, for example, I can get to all 4 clip art categories and all of the images contained within them. What happens if we want to limit the accessible clip art categories? We can do this by specifically defining field tags within the script config. So if I just go back to my script config, you'll notice there's this second section down here, which doesn't currently have too much in it. And what we're looking at is this new field custom tags. This section allows us to define specific field tags on each different field type. We need to identify the relevant field tags, and the easiest way to do this is on the product itself. So this is just like a testing phase at this stage. This is just to actually get the name of the relevant field tags. So if I go ahead and add an image frame, just start customizing that using our custom tab as I normally would. And then I want to assign the relevant clip art category to it. And this is the one I actually want to make solely available within this particular product when our end users add a clip art frame from the form on the right hand side. So let's say, for example, I only want them to be able to utilize Infigo headshots. You'll see when I activate that on my test frame, it comes up with the relevant field tag within that particular field. And this is the text that I need to take over to my script config. So locate the relevant type of field. So in this case, it's a clip art field. And then I'm going to input that field tag into there. I'm going to save that and then relaunch my Mega Edit product. Now, when I go ahead and add a new clip art field, we'll see that when I go to select the image, it's limited only to those categories that I've allowed access to in my script config. So for example, in this case, all I can get to is the headshot category. Now remember that if you want to make static, unchangeable fields on the product, the tools do exist to do this. Other tutorials go into this in more detail, however you can make use of masks and background layers, along with specifying that a field cannot be interacted with. What this means is that you can create permanent backgrounds or foreground layers which the customer can't interact with and can't change. This is great if you just need them to interact with certain parts or certain areas of this particular product.